I've been delaying and putting this off because now I have to face the truth that it is time. It's time to say goodbye.
Cannot escape your destiny.
Hello, Cachorroids, and welcome to our final episode of El Cachorro versus the Clone Wars. It has been a long season. We have finally come to a close, and the series finale obviously wrapped up on May the 4th, so it's been a few days to process and go through all the stages of grief, and it is now time that El Cachorro must accept. We have come to our closure. It's in the show. And what a remarkable ending it has been. I mean, we had a season start off with a 4-episode Bad Batch, which obviously, remember, I was a little mixed on. I thought they were okay episodes. I think they could have been condensed into shorter, less episodes instead of using 4. I didn't really care for a lot of those characters too much. I thought they were a little overpowered. But I would like, as I said, the whole season overall, I would have liked the season wrapping up all these stories and not introducing new characters, which is what we also did in the second arc with the two sisters. Which I also was not a big fan of that arc either. I felt they could have wrapped it up. But they redeemed themselves with this final Siege of Mandalore arc. It was completely cinematic. I mean, you could have put this in a theater and I would have went and saw it. It was that truly amazing. And now we must just digress and the final episode and what has happened. But before we do that, we got to, of course, do our little housekeeping stuff. If you've come across my page, feel free to hit the video with a like if you enjoy what you see. Or, hit the subscribe button even more. That helps me out. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers so that I can personalize that web address at the top there. So we have like youtube.com/elcachorro. It's better than numbers. So feel free to please hit the subscribe button and help me out. But let us dive in to our episode. Boom. As we get the part 4 is called Victory and Death. And we start off with this good, nice, somber music. I mean, the music in this episode is, through this whole arc, has been phenomenal. Kevin Kinder's was responsible for the score, and he knocked it out of the ballpark. I mean, by far, I think the 3rd episode of the arc had probably the best soundtrack of all of them. But we have some really good music in here, especially at the beginning and the end. So we start off with this ominous, somber music, which I thought was beautiful. So kudos to that. So we start off, our heroes, we're still trapped in this room. The clone troopers are welding through the door. They're trying to figure out what they're going to do. So Ahsoka claims that she has a plan and tells Rex this is going to be a theme for the episode, to set his guns to stun because she doesn't want to kill anyone. And he's like, well, tell them that. So pretty much the plan was she waits till they are about to cut through the door, and as soon as they finish the door, she uses the Force to shoot the door out to surprise them, and then Rex can start stunning people while she's using the lightsabers to deflect shots. So they're able to stun all the troopers and fight their way out. To which they say, trying to figure out what they're going to do. They said the escape pods have all been destroyed. Our only shot is to go to the hangar and steal a shuttle, because our goal is to figure out how to escape. And then of course we get this nice little spot with Rex talking about, oh, you poor guys are having a hard time. Oh yeah, by the way, did you hear Maul escaped too? To which Ahsoka's like, he didn't escape, I let him out. And he's like, what? Why? It's because of diversion, of course. So we have that little way to tie in. Hey, by the way, Maul's still around. And of course that leaves us to our segue to Maul himself. So we see Maul going through the hallway. In the previous episode, when he used the Force to cut off somebody's arm, he stole their communicator. So he's been listening in to the clone's radio signal. So he's walking through the hallway. He takes out 2 troopers, and next thing we know, Maul has found his way into the hyperdrive room. Remember, Maul has no lightsabers. So he's using hand-to-hand and force powers. He's like going total force unleashed here. I get you, got me, Sam. Yeah. Force unleashed, got you there, Sam. Nice little one there for you. So he's using hand-to-hand, using the force to take out the troopers. One part where he's using a stormtrooper helmet to deflect shots. And then he knocks it out on the trooper. And then he just completely unloads, uses the force to grab the 2 generators, the hyperdrive generators, and just yanks them out of the ceiling and crashes them down on a couple other troopers. I mean, this scene was like Maul going full out was amazing. So we see the ship come crash out of hyperspeed, and you get this amazing shot of the ship just exploding, and kind of reminds you of the scene from like The Last Jedi when the Holdo maneuver thing happened. So it's just kind of that reminiscence of that scene, which, hey, like, for how you went about that movie, that scene was pretty cool. So we see the ship's obviously in trouble, and as it's crashing, and we can see some planets. It came out of hyperspace next to a planet and a moon. So our heroes find their way to the hangar and to figure out what's going on. They find out the hyperdrive has been destroyed, and they open up the hangar doors, and they see they're heading right for a moon. That the ship is in the gravitational pull of the moon, so it's going to crash into the moon. So they open up the other hangar door. So they open up the shuttle doors, find the shuttle, but then all the other shuttle doors open, and out comes Jesse and a whole squadron of troopers because he set a trap. It's a trap. So now the heroes are cut off by a legion of clone troopers. Rex is like, what do we got to do? We got to fight our way out. And Ahsoka's like, no, I don't want to kill anyone. So once again, that theme of Ahsoka does it, the clones are not responsible for how they're acting. She has compassion for them. She's not blaming them. They're obviously brainwashed. And Rex is like, they're going to die just to make sure that we die. So a little heartfelt moment is that talks about his brothers are willing to die. To which then Ahsoka removes his helmet, and we see that Rex has tears going down his face because he also, it's his brothers. And his brothers are so brainwashed that they're willing to die just to kill him and her. It's a very touching moment. And then Ahsoka's like, well, Ahsoka says she has a plan. Meanwhile, this whole time we keep seeing cutbacks to Maul, listen to the communicator, he's also working his way to the hangar. So we see the plan. The plan is we have Rex coming out with Ahsoka at gunpoint, and he's yelling to Jesse, hold your fire, hold your fire. It's like, we were told we had to take out the Jedi, that they committed treason. It's like, well, Ahsoka's not a Jedi though. She left a long time ago. Kind of playing that card that a lot of us have been talking about for the last couple weeks about, well, what are the clones thrown on Ahsoka? She's not a Jedi. To which Jesse doesn't buy this. He's like, our Order 66, you said Darth Sidious said we had to kill Ahsoka Tano and any clone. And this is where that line comes back to play, that that weird line. I kind of imagine it was going to be some kind of foreshadowing for this moment. Any clone that helps her is also guilty of treason and must die. Unless there was a part of that message we did not hear, Darth Sidious never said kill Ahsoka Tano. He said execute Order 66, and that's the only thing we saw on. Also showing that more of the clones know who Darth Sidious is instantly there. So he didn't technically say you had to kill Ahsoka. Well, that's. I can't believe he would say that before saying Order 66. So technically that didn't happen. So Jesse don't buy it. He accuses Rex of treason and demotes him from commander, which is what led to got us a fun line of Rex saying, well, I never liked being commander anyways. Meanwhile, while they're doing this subterfuge, we have the droids, Ahsoka's little droid buddies, are operating on a computer. To which the droids pull out their plan is they lower these platforms, taking out 2/3 of the troops. So the 2/3 of the troops have fallen down, and then this battle begins, and we have pretty much Ahsoka operating as a shield. She's deflecting all the bolts while Rex is stunning everybody, is shooting people with a stun. So this pretty awesome scene here. They're going through, and she's force pushing, and she's one point she even pushes Jesse, who didn't fall down initially. She knocks him off the edge, so he goes down where the other troopers went. So while they're deflecting, we see Maul enter the scene and go running for the shuttle. So Ahsoka goes running after him, and we get the stuff where he's throwing stuff at her, and she does this lunge and swings her lightsaber, and he's able to dodge it, and he goes at her again, and then he just gives her a big force push that knocks her all the way back where she almost falls off the ledge. And the droid has to shoot a grappling hook that catches it, which now she's trying to climb up, and now the troops that fell are shooting up at her. So there's no getaway here. Everywhere you go, there's somebody shooting at them. But this distraction, of course, while they're obviously trying to rescue Rex, and the droids are rescuing Ahsoka, it gives Maul time to get in the ship and start it up and start taking off. So at this point, we get Ahsoka back, and we get this other really cool scene where Ahsoka's using the Force to stop Maul, to try and keep Maul's ship from flying away. Meanwhile, Rex tries to hold her to keep pulling her back because she was getting pulled forward too, but then he has to start shooting at the clones. So you got Ahsoka pulling the ship, Rex taking on the clones. Rex is getting overwhelmed. At one point, he even takes a blaster shot to his shoulder. And Ahsoka pretty much realizes she has to let go of Maul because she needs to help Rex. So she releases her hold on Maul, so she can jump in front of Rex with a lightsaber and start deflecting him again. We see Maul fly out of the ship. The ship's still falling apart, getting closer to the moon. We see Maul leave, and then Maul takes off into hyperspace, and that is Maul's exit from the Clone Wars. So he's escaped. He's gotten away. What we know of Maul is somehow he's going to get into the criminal underworld with Crimson Dawn. We won't see him again till Solo. So I don't know if we ever see what goes on between. We don't even know much of what's going on in Solo. We get a cameo of him in Solo, and then we get more of him, obviously, in Rebels. So we really have this big chunk of Maul that we don't really know what's going on with Maul for the next 15 to 20 years. Somewhere in that area, it depends on when he comes all the way back in on Rebels. Like I said, he's running. All we find out from Solo is he's running the Crimson Dawn people. So, but this is Maul's exit from the Clone Wars. So that's his exit stage. So we say goodbye to him. So we go back in, and we have our two heroes fighting off this battalion, and they're getting surrounded and getting overwhelmed. And then we do this cool little thing Ahsoka does with her lightsaber. She throws her lightsabers in the ground, uses the Force, and swirls them around and cuts a circle in the ground. That was kind of giving kudos. That was pretty awesome. Of course, then the platform falls down to the lower level. Hey, they're saved, right? They got out of that fire. They were getting overran. So as our heroes stand up down there, there's Jesse and all the rest of his troops. This is how epic these two are fighting for their lives. I mean, they're just so overwhelmed. They're so outnumbered. I mean, it looks bleeding like they have no chance at all of succeeding here. I mean, there's just too much. There's so much troops going on. So now they're doing the fight thing here. Rex is still doing the stun. So Ahsoka starts taking out troops. Rex kind of splits off to the side and starts running through the side and like looking at ships. And there's that maintenance, garbage. So he's like trying to find a way for them to get out of here. And none of the ships are in operating order, except for you can kind of right there you can see where they're going to go in the background here. So then at the end, they're going for that Y-wing in the background. They find that Y-wing, and that's what they decide to go for. So they're fighting their way through the troops, their way over there. Meanwhile, we see the ship. We keep getting scenes of the ship. That's this awesome, visual of the ship just breaking to pieces as it starts to enter the atmosphere. These troops are fighting to kill them with everything they got. Meanwhile, their ship is crashing. Also, but at this point, while they were down there fighting, the same droids raised the same levers again to save they cut down half the troops that they were fighting again. This time, though, that was the last trick the droids were going to pull. The clone troopers go over and they shoot the droids. And pretty much, they murder the droids. Droids are gone, dead. We'll get to that, but we don't jump that far. So they finally find their way down. So they take out the droids. So now the troops are coming back down to reinforce. Jesse and his troops are coming back down to reinforce them. We get a scene where Ahsoka uses the Force to push Rex to the Y-wing so he can start it up, and she's deflecting it. And there's a couple of times there, we see her get shot in the shoulder, so she takes a shot. It's not looking really good for our heroes. And then we get to the part where the ship just really enters the atmosphere and it starts imploding, busting into pieces. And it causes the whole floor they're standing on the tilt, so all the troopers go sliding. Ahsoka's going sliding. She's using her lightsabers to catch on. So the ship crashing saves the day. And she goes to try and hurry up and jump on the Y-wing with Rex, but as she jumps, the Y-wing gets detached and starts free falling. So Ahsoka's now free falling. So we get this whole awesome free fall scene where Rex is able to get the ship started, and he's trying to catch Ahsoka, and they're just not able. She's having a hard time catching on, and he's dodging debris, and they're doing this whole fall thing. It's really a beautifully animated scene. And of course, it all ends up with Ahsoka being able to get a hold of the ship and climb into the gunner's chair as they fly away as the ship crashes. So our heroes escaped, and the ship's crash is obviously going to crash. So now the question is going to be: where are we going to go from here? Now we know our heroes survived; they got away. So we got So this is the part where everybody wants to know what's the finale going to. How's this show going to end? Well, surprisingly, oops, wrong button. We see the cruiser crashed into the ground, and we see the Y-Wing parked in front of it. To which we cut to, and we see Rex walking back to the ship carrying a shovel. So he loads the shovel, and he takes one last look. And this is our final view of Rex in the Clone Wars. This is Rex's goodbye right here. So this is our final shot of Rex. So he's staring off at Ahsoka as we say goodbye to our friend. So what is Ahsoka doing? So Ahsoka and Rex buried all the clone troopers. So Ahsoka once again shows her compassion for the troops. And that obviously she did not, blame them for their issues, that she still felt for them. And she cared enough about them to bury them. And as we struck with their helmets, when one of the views as it cycles through the helmets, we see Jesse's helmet. So we know that Jesse was also one of the. So pretty much everybody on the ship died. And interesting thing about this is if you really want to look at it, well, the whole theme of the episode was Ahsoka did not want to kill any of the troops. She wasn't stunned. She didn't want to hurt any of them. Technically, she's responsible for all of them dying. They're all dead because of her choice to release Maul. Her releasing Maul to cause a distraction so she could save Rex, and they could work on getting off the ship. I mean, we've already saw Maul going through killing people left and right on the ship, but Maul destroyed the ship. Maul caused the ship to crash. Maul pretty much caused all of them to die. I mean, I guess the clones destroyed their own escape pods, and they decided to keep fighting instead of evacuating. But her choice to release Maul is what caused this. So we end on a shot. We see going the wrong way. So we see Ahsoka, and she's looking at the graves, and she has her lightsaber. She only has one of them. I don't recall seeing her lose one, because when the ship started crashing, we knew she had both of them when she kept herself from falling, and she came running. So unless maybe she dropped the one when she jumped for the Y-Wing or something. I'm not quite sure what happened to the other lightsaber. But she has her lightsaber, and she looks at it, and then she just drops it to the ground. And then we just get this parting shot of her staring at the graves, all sad and somber. And it fades away, and we say goodbye to Ahsoka Tano. But the episode's not over. We know there's going to be an epilogue. So where could we possibly go with this epilogue? Is the question. So what they chose to do might be surprising. I mean, I kind of had a feeling we would see something along these lines. There was a lot of predictions everybody thought there was going to be. Obviously, we did not have any kind of confrontation between Ahsoka, Rex, and Anakin, which I didn't think there was any chance in hell that would happen, because it wouldn't fit into the story of Revenge of the Sith. So what is our epilogue going to be? Well, we cut to a winner, and I'm assuming some time has gone by. Not sure how much, but what we do know is the Galactic Republic is no more. We see an Imperial probe droid. We see snowtroopers. We see stormtroopers. So we're now full in the Empire. So we've made the full crossover from the clone troopers to the Empire. So however long that took them to fully make that conversion. So we see them in the snow around this rubble. And then we hear the famous breathing and see a pair of black boots walk by, and Vader is making an appearance. got a shot of we see Vader pretty much standing in front of the crashed cruiser, looking at the cruiser, and then he kneels down and he finds Ahsoka's lightsaber in the snow on the ground. He's able to ignite it, stares at it, and then something come out of something flying, some bird-like animal, catches his attention, and he just looks, and then he just deactivates the lightsaber, and he turns and walks away, and our final shot of the series is a reflection of Vader walking away in the visor of a clone trooper's helmet. Very powerful shot. That's a very amazing ending shot. Now, does Vader believe Ahsoka's dead or alive? Is up to debate. Does he believe? I mean, we do know in the Clone Wars the apprentice lives, so maybe he had suspicions. But so we do. I guess my guess was we were going to get some kind of glimpse of Vader in this finale. That he wasn't going to interact with Ahsoka. He wasn't going to interact with Rex. We would just somehow see some kind of parting glimpse at him at the very end. So I kind of, was on the money there. So I did kind of, got that. We got pretty much she showed up at the crash site, walked off, took her lightsaber and walked away. So we obviously know Vader's story. There's a lot of there's comic series that go into Vader's story from here. We do know Ahsoka's novel picks up to where happens to her during the next time frame, even if they have kind of changed some of the stuff in the novel, including dealing with how Rex and Order 66 worked. And they changed, the novel and Rebels kind of went together. The show did not. This show kind of changed it a little bit, but hey, that stuff's going to happen, But yeah, so that's where our show wraps up. An amazing, amazing ending. We have this whole epilogue, or the whole from the crash site where Ahsoka in the graves. We get another powerful musical piece of somber sadness that plays throughout this whole ending part. So it's more fantastic music. And we hit the credits, and that's the end of the Clone Wars. We are done. And the most phenomenal part of this finale episode is there's only 4 actors. Technically 3. The fourth one was Dave Filoni voicing one of the droids. What we have, obviously, had Ashley as Ahsoka, and Sam Witwer as Maul, and then D. Bradley Baker voicing, of course, Rex and all the clones. So that's it. The series finale had 3 actors throughout the whole episode. It's as powerful as it was. Just three people did that whole episode, carry the whole acting for that episode. So that was just amazing. I mean, yeah, when you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, there was only 3 3 characters really in it, but it's like when you don't think about that until you see the cast for the episode. So it's like, yeah, that's true. So it was a fantastic. This final arc was, like I said, cinematic, superb. It totally made, the highlights of her season was kind of hit or miss. It was okay, I guess, at best. Felt like a bunch of filler episodes, to be honest. But this final arc is probably the greatest arc, and maybe the greatest Clone Wars arc, period. These may have been the best Clone Wars episodes made ever. I mean, I have to go back and watch all the seasons to make that decision. But I mean, these were super powerful, well done episodes, and I tip the Lucha Libre mask to them on that. And so now my first and last season of El Cachorro versus the Clone Wars has come to a close. Where we go from here? Obviously, we have the Mandalorian season 2 in the fall. I think maybe I'll cover those episodes. I didn't do season 1, but I could do season 2. Supposedly, there's another animated show on the way, so we have that to look forward to. Of course, Marvel's got some shows on the way. I guess I have to figure some stuff out. I mean, if anybody has any suggestions, please free to comment them down below. I have another love project I've been wanting to do, involving, that guy. I'm going to do it's going to be in parts because it's like 30-something movies, so I can't do it. It would be like forever long if I did them all. But I'm gonna, I was kind of, been going through this idea of ranking all the Godzilla movies, so that's something that I might do for fun as well. But El Cachorro will not go away. El Cachorro will still be around if you don't like me, and I'm not going anywhere. I will find something. We will cover other stuff. We will find stuff to talk about for, the few people that decide to watch me. If you are someone who's watched any of my episodes, I highly appreciate it, and I thank you for all the kind likes and subscriptions. It's helped me out a lot, and hopefully we will continue to grow. And we remember our brave Padawan, the adventures of our brave Padawan. From the stubborn, bullheaded person to the wise, powerful person she ended up being, is pretty much the Clone Wars was Ahsoka's story. And the character that everyone hated when she first debuted, and has become one of the most loved characters in Star Wars. We know her story's not over. There's gonna be more with Ahsoka. Whether it be the animated, whether this live action stuff comes to play and happens to be true, who knows? But we know Dave is not gonna, not gonna let Ahsoka lie. So, look forward to the future. I thank you once again for tuning in, and please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, leave me your thoughts of your feelings on the finale. And until next time, may the Force be with you. I